Hi, very good evening, Bacho. In the last session, we learned about the meaning of bank reconciliation statement. What are the reasons for difference in the bank reconciliation statement, right? Now let us understand. We have a two variety of books called cash book and the passbook. कैश बुक डेबिट साइड में क्या आता? कैश बुक डेबिट साइड में रिसिप्ट आता. कैश बुक क्रेडिट साइड में पेमेंट्स. You have learnt in your first PU cash book debit side receipt, credit side payment. Similarly, passbook is opposite, wherein debit side we have a payment, credit side there is a receipt. Now, my dear children, what are the transactions which are termed to be the transactions which are termed as a receipt? Now, the checks deposited is a receipt. The check paid into bank is a receipt. The check sent to bank for collection is also receipt. Remember, checks deposited, checks paid into bank is a receipt, sent to the bank for collection is a receipt. Sometimes the banker will allow the interest on investment. What? Interest on investment is also receipt. There are four receipt makla: deposited, checks sent to the bank for collection, paid into the bank, directly the payment made not by the bank but paid into the bank by one of our customer. Interest on investment is a receipt. When it comes to the receipt, we come across all the four transactions. When we move towards payment, there are checks issued. क्या होता उधर? Checks issue होता. Issue मतलब we can use another name called checks drawn. Issue, drawn, both are one and the same. समझ लेना मकला. Then next, here we have a checks paid into bank, right? Here paid by the bank. Remember, here we have paid into bank, here we have paid by the bank. Thereafter, the other transactions which are termed as payment is interest on loan, interest on borrowings. Here interest on investment is a receipt. There the interest on loan and interest on borrowing is a payment. इन्वेस्टमेंट किया तो बैंक हमको बड्डी देता. If we borrowed loan, we have to pay the interest to the banker, then the interest is termed as payment. I hope you people are understanding. Then bank charges is a payment. Another concept is checks dishonored. क्या बोलते हैं इसको? Dishonor. When the check is dishonored, that is also termed as payment. These are all about the receipt and payment in cash book. We know very well what are the receipt, what and all the receipt which are there in the debit side of the cash book that move on to the credit side of the passbook. The payment which are there on the credit side of the passbook, cash book, that goes to the debit side of the passbook. Please remember these things. Whatever the transactions which are given to you in CA Foundation is based on these transactions only. I repeat, checks deposited, paid into bank, sent to the bank for collection, banker allowed the interest on investment. These are called a receipt. Checks issued, checks drawn, bank charges, interest on overdraft called interest on loan, interest on borrowings, and the checks dishonored all are comes under the payment section of a cash book. This is one concept. Finally, I repeat, the cash book debit side, the cash book debit side is receipt, passbook credit side is receipt. Cash book debit side is payment, passbook cash book credit side is payment, passbook debit side is payment. Fine. So अब तो आपको समझ में आया, क्या क्या समझ में आया? What is BRS? What are the transactions leads to difference? What transaction is to be termed as a payment and the transactions which are termed as a receipt. Now we are into the final session makla. Final session my dear children, bachcho, that is how the BRS is to be done. There are so many methods that they used to apply. Someone will apply plus minus method, someone will apply debit credit method. I repeat, someone will apply plus minus method, some people will apply debit credit method, some people will apply like add some transactions, बाद में less some other transactions. These are the things in which the people used to teach the BRS. I prefer to go for debit credit method. This is a very easiest method, very simple method to learn the BRS. Now, how to learn this debit and credit method? The way how the BRS is to be done. What do you mean by BRS? Bank reconciliation statement. Here क्या करते हैं, हमें reconciliation करते हैं. कैसे reconciliation करना? Let us learn. Number one, if you come across any transactions which are already debited, क्या किया उन्हें? Debit किया है. Whatever the transactions which are debited, you have to take it in. You have to take it in what side? Credit side. When you people take it in credit side, that is nothing but your BRS. I tell you a small example. Checks deposited into bank, debited in the cash book. This is the transaction. Checks deposited means receipt, which is debited in the cash book. अब आपने क्या करना? क्रेडिट साइड में लेना उतना. If you come across a transaction like, if it is credited, you have to take it in debit side, that is called your BRS. If it is debited, take it in credit side. If it is in credited, take it in debit side, that is the opposite. If not debited, if not debited, what to do? Debit. Debit करना और debit side में लेना, debited, that is your BRS. If it is not credited, if it is what? Not credited, what you have to do? You have to take it in credit side. That is called your BRS. See, if when you people concentrate on these two things, 90% of your problem lies here only. If the transaction is debited, you take it in credit side. If the transaction is credited, you take it in debit side. If it is not debited, apply in the debit side. If it is not credited, apply in the credit side. This is the very, very important and basic concept that every student is supposed to remember. बाद में और next concept. If they have taken in the payment side, where they have taken? Payment side. Now you have to take it in receipt side. If they have taken in receipt side, you have to take it in payment side. Similarly, if not recorded in payment side, record in payment side. If not recorded in receipt side, record in receipt side. Just do the opposite thing, that is called reconciliation. So, कुल मिला के कितना पॉइंट हुआ here? 8 points is being completed. Apart from these 8 points, you need to remember 2 more concepts. That is what? Under cost, very very important my dear children. Over cost means cast means total. Under cast and over cast. What do you mean by under cast? Under cast means recording the less amount. Over cast means recording the more amount. Now what you have to do? Under cast means udhar kam hai, kidhar kam hai? Where the under cost is being done, udhar kam hai. आपने क्या करना? The same side डालना. किधर डालना? Take it in same side. For example, if debit is under costed, you take it in debit side. If credit is over costed, you take it in credit side, be it cash book or a passbook. When there is a over cost, अब over cost किया तो क्या करना? We have to take it in opposite side. That means if debit is over costed, debit में ज़्यादा है, क्या करना? Credit side में डालना. Credit side ज़्यादा है, credit side में over cost हुआ, किधर डालना? Debit side में डालना. These are the 10 tricks that every student should remember before going for BRS. Let me sum up whatever the things I have taught you so far in just 2 minutes. Okay? Just 2 minutes. Try to understand the method of concept. After this, in the next session, I go for solution to a problems. Okay? I repeat the whole concept in just 3-4 minutes. We have a cash book, debit में receipt, credit side में क्या आता? Credit side we get payment, passbook is opposite, debit side में payment आता, credit side में receipt आता. When I start the problem, please my dear children remember cash book, debit side receipt, credit side payment, passbook, debit side payment, credit side receipt. Now, what are the receipts? Checks deposited, checks paid into bank, checks sent to the bank for collection, interest allowed by the banker on the investment and the deposits. These are the 4 important transactions of receipt. After that we have some other transactions also, but these are the 4 main transactions. When it comes to payment, checks issued, checks drawn, bank charges, banker charged interest. Similarly, checks dishonored. These are all called payment. Fine. Second, after this, how the BRS is to be done? Very simple. Where the transaction is recorded, you take it in opposite side. For example, if it is debited, take it in credit side. If it is taken in payment side, take it in receipt side. If it is credited, take it in opposite debit side. If the entry is not entered in the debit side में entry नहीं किया, क्या करना आप? Debit side में ही करना. If the entry is made in the credit side, take it in debit side. Credit side में entry नहीं किया, take it in credit side. These are all the things that you need to remember. The last is under cost and over cost. Under cost means what? Under cost means they have made a less total, they have mentioned the less amount, that is called under cost. They are supposed to write 1000. In the place of 1000 they have mentioned only 800. or 200 कम है ना, किधर कम है? If it is debit under cost, take the 200 in debit side only. If it is under cost on the credit side, take the 200 on the credit side. Under cost means take it in same side. Over cost means it is to be taken in the opposite side, my dear children, not in the same side, opposite side. Simple logic. If you have eaten more, then what we used to do? We used to go for vomit. Where you are going to vomit? Opposite, right? Not on your body, it is on the opposite side. Similarly, under cost means record in the same side, over cost means record in the opposite side. I think this is enough in this particular video. In the next session, I go for solution to the problems. Thank you. Bye bye. Take care.